Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a high-level best of 5 between in the top right spawning as our blue Terran player playing for the Shopify Rebellion. It is Beyond. And on the other side of the map spawning as our red Zerg, also playing for the Shopify Rebellion, but without the decal around the hatchery. It's going to be Scarlett over here, Zerg versus Terran, and as always, Beyond opens up with his classic low ground double Reaper opener, a build that Zerg players worldwide haven't quite been capable of figuring out. Well, I guess Zergs have figured it out, and they have figured out that it's now just considered a standard opener. There's no tricks of the trade that you can really utilize against this particular opener in order to get very far ahead. We've seen some people attempt to go for gasless openers against it. Hasn't really worked out. Gasless openers also carry the risk that if a third barracks gets added on, which we've seen Beyond do in the past, that you basically just straight up die as the Zerg, because there's no way to defend 3 Rex Reaper with a gasless opener. Now, first Reaper's gonna make its way across the map as Scarlett does decide to throw down this hatchery on the line 3rd location. This bad boy is now moving in, which is always fun to watch. Let's see if we can get some damage done here. Well, damage for sure, but any kills perhaps? 3 drones have been shot at this point. This one might die, no? Quick spore response here. One of our Canadian Zerg player currently living over in South Korea. Has been living there for, I want to say, close to 6 or 7 years now. Ooh, Beyond actually opening up with more Reapers than is usual in his build order. The standard setup tends to be 3 Reapers. This time it's going to be 5 Reapers. Scarlett is moving over towards the left side to create a hatchery there, perhaps keen on giving up this right side base, saying, hey, I can't quite defend that. That is a bait hatchery. At the same time, these Lings now moving in towards the natural of Beyond. We'll start by targeting down this reactor. That's a big deal. Reactors take very long to build, so the cancel and losing the money is annoying, but actually losing the timing there is probably much more frustrating. These 5 Lings are going to make their way in towards the main base, take out 1 SCV, take out a second SCV most likely. Yep, there we go. Reaper should be somewhat secure. At least Scarlett attempts to surround, will not quite get it yet. Grenade gets thrown down as Beyond manages to keep his Reaper alive for now. These Reapers, though, in the middle of the map haven't really achieved much of anything. I mean, they canceled this base. Scarlett already there with a new 3rd base up in the triangle formation this time around. 3rd CC for Beyond has also been delayed quite significantly. That reactor delay is big. Of course, the factory delay is not going to be the end of the world, but still, 3 workers have gone down as well in a build order that already has relatively low eco, I would say, slightly lower eco than a standard opener. So losing a couple of workers there is, of course, quite frustrating. On top of that, Scarlett also managed to kind of sneak out of here with a very low link count. Like usually you probably need about maybe 16 to 20 links or so, and they can't achieve much of anything. They can only stop the Reapers, but now Scarlett only got 12. Means that she could potentially still be in a little bit of danger here. So there's really not that many links out. 2 more to get produced as the 3 queens try to move into position. 1-1 start here for Beyond. All of this does get spotted by this Overlord. The all-seeing eye in the sky knows exactly what is kicking off. There's no layer quite. There's nothing extra really. It's just going to be a bit of a supply block here. High queen count, lots and lots of drones being produced. As we're getting closer as well to, I was gonna say to the first medevac move out, but there's not even a starport out yet. This seems to me like it's going to be some weird type of all-in here. Look at this. Okay, now we have a starport going down on the reactor location. If Beyond's gonna wait for all of that, it's going to take quite a while. I'm not so sure why he felt the need to wait with his starport for such a long time. But he definitely did feel that need. 30C is producing workers 1 by 1. Scarlett pulled ahead in the worker count by about 13. We'll continue to drone up here as well. 11 more drones coming in. Total goes up to 66. Marine's moving in towards the 3rd base location. So Baneling nest is not quite done. These queens will need to carry the, well, basically the entire load here. So there's nothing else. Queens are going to be the only thing capable when you're catching those Marines. There's no combat shield, and stimming in here seems like a suicidal play. So BUSTS just going to pull back for now, waiting for first 2 medevacs to pop out. So Scarlett finally gets the lair out. Could start potentially the Baneling speed. We have no Evo chambers yet. Also relatively low gas count, so unlikely that it's going to be Spire. In general, against this type of openers, kind of unlikely to see a Spire start off of this. 3 more barracks are being thrown down. It's going to bring the total up to 5. 10 more drones. Jesus, good lord. What is that, huh? 81 drones against someone that's on 54. Be my guest, but don't be surprised if you end up dying. Sometimes you eat so many cookies that the size of your hand increases and then your hand gets stuck in the cookie jar. I feel like that's kind of what's happening with Scarlett here. She was eating a lot of cookies. She was eating well. But now I think she might have eaten slightly too many cookies. Trying to get close to these Marines. This is hard. One Baneling does get a connection, but all that's left right now is just pure Queen. Does feel like Scarlett is barely going to survive. Had that one Baneling not connected, I think she'll just end up dying there straight up. No Baneling speed, 1-1 upgrades on those Marines. I think that has major damage there with the one Baneling hit. If that doesn't happen, I actually do believe that BUSTS, despite the massive eco deficiency that he's in, could just insta-win the game. It's pretty crazy. No 5th base yet here for Scarlett either. Does have night vision with these links just spread around the map. These Marines are way too low, obviously. They can't be here. They can't fight. Right? Right? Baneling speed about to finish up as well. Mines do burrow. Target firing on Banelings. The second one hits a Queen as trying to shoot down some of these Banes with the Marine force that remained. Didn't work out. There was simply too many. The centrifugal hooks coming in clutch. BUSTS is now preparing for his next attack. Command center gets built here. And due to the bug, you see the orbital command being thrown down. It is a sad world that we live in, but there's definitely a couple of bugs currently in the game. Mines being burrowed, one at a time. Hydra then as well has finished up. Double hatchery in the main, very similar to how a Korean player Dark plays when playing Lingbane. Often, I'm not sure actually if Dark tends to go into Hydra Lingbane. This is off of 8 gases, all a very high gas count. It's going to make sure that there's always going to be enough larva to go around. Needs more Banelings in this left side army. There's a couple of mines there already. I think this defensive setup is good enough as a spore goes down. Pneumatized carapace now finishing up as well. 3 more barracks on the way for BUSTS. He probably wants to get a couple of Marauders in there. Makes sense. Marauder's always good. Here comes a scan. 1 creep tumor will go down. 1, 2, 3, 4 Banelings get shift clicked there. One of them does get a connection, so a few Marines end up dying. Mines now being cleared one by one, as Scarlett does an okay job at that. 1 big mine shot, perhaps decent enough. 4 or 5 mines do end up falling for the price of 1 decent mine shot. It's not going to be good enough here for BUSTS, who has honestly lost pretty much all map presence at this point. There's nothing really on the right side. There's an army in the middle here. Medevac count is at 5. Wait, where's the other 3? Okay, there's 1 going towards the right. BUSTS desperately needs to get out on the map. If Scarlett manages to move across right now, morphs a bunch of Banelings and goes in, I'd actually be pretty afraid for BUSTS' life. There's just a single tank. There's 3 mines. That doesn't really seem to be enough in my mind. This medevac now is also going to be pushed back. Hydra spitting at it from a distance. No, not quite. Wow. That was proper close though. Despite having those muscular augments, not quite quick enough. Scarlett does believe that there's an opportunity to move across, as indeed here comes the 18 Baneling morph. We'll probably try to fight this 4th base location. At the same time, we have a minor run by heading towards the 3rd base, and because of that tank count being so low, only a single one after all, I feel like it's going to be a fairly hard hold here for BUSTS. Mine does get 1 connection at least. There's 39 Banelings total. I mean, this base is absolutely toast right now. Will be forced to lift off. BUSTS loses 18 SCVs practically instantly. Marauders in the front trying to tank. I don't think this is it though. This defense definitely is not going to be it. Link flank from the right side. Hydra's coming to attack that orbital as well. These Banelings are being pushed back, but it's 185 supply to 125. And that means that unless Scarlett completely messes this up, I don't really see a viable way for her to lose. Or I don't see a viable way for Beyond to win, I guess you could also say, because Beyond is pretty freaking dead right now. The only advantage, that he really has is going to be these upgrades. That's not going to be enough. GG gets called, and Scarlett takes map number 1 in this best of 5. Alright, game number 2 here, played on Ancient Cistern. With Beyond once more opening with a similar, well, the exact same opener, really. I'm not sure if it's going to be 5 Reapers once more. Beyond really is kind of like that. You know who are very alike? Is Beyond and MaxPax. It's actually crazy how alike they are. They both play an absolute metric crap ton of games. Like, when it comes to laddering, I think they have the most games in the past, 12 months. Or in the past 2 years, or however long both of them have been playing again. Like Beyond, he plays so freaking many ladder. He loves the ladder as well. You talk to him about the ladder. Inspirational stuff, let me tell you. And MaxPax is similar. And also, both of them really like to have one build order that they really kind of stick to. For MaxPax in PvP, for example, that is the one gate expand. And for Beyond, in this particular matchup, it is the kind of the 2-Rex Reaper. And just kind of sticks with his guns and just plays it again and again and again. If it is possible, that is what they love doing. Just kind of iterating on top of that build. More and more and more. Now, this time, usually I do believe that Beyond has slightly more diverse follow-ups, majority of the time. So Beyond is someone that will have a similar opener, like 5 times, and then have a different build 5 times as well. Well, I do believe that MaxPax has same opener, same follow-up, same everything a lot of the time. Sometimes he'll mix in something new, but majority of the time that's not quite going to be the case. Reapers find one drone here. Scarlett is opting for the double hatchery setup, which is really interesting to watch. Another drone gets taken out. Don't forget, with 3 Reapers, you do get the 2 volley drones. It's absolutely great to watch. This build actually seems fun to play as well. Yeah, just kind of cruising around with them Reapers, having a good old time. Follow-ups don't seem so hard. As I say that whenever Beyond opens up with one thing, then he often has a different follow-up. Well, this time, once again, it's going to be a 2-on-1. Of course, it will be with less Reapers initially. But honestly, it feels like the damage is pretty similar to last game. Beyond also one of the only players that feels super comfortable, like in this type of engagement. Like, look at this. This is really not okay. He's gonna end up losing at least 1 Reaper here. Like, how is this so close? That really shouldn't be the case in my mind. He's in the end still going to lose all of his Reapers. A lot of the time you'll see him just kind of micro out of this and barely kill everything, keep his Reapers alive. It's crazy. It really is kind of crazy. Third base about to finish. Ooh, it's Banshee. Okay, no, it's a completely different follow-up. I thought it was going to be a Reactor for some reason, but this is just going to be a Banshee. So Stim plus Banshee. Maybe we can get a Reactor on this factory right now. There's a possibility, of course. This Overlord does need to be stopped. At the same time, this also needs to be stopped. Both of things need to be stopped. It's a Raven. All right. Holy crap, this is a build order, huh? This is something you never freaking see. Like, legitimately never. It's just gonna use it for harass? Maybe double Raven? No, it's gonna be single Raven 100%. I'm gonna keep it a $150 with all of you. I have absolutely no clue how this is supposed to do anything at all. There's almost no map pressure, no map presence here for Beyond. If someone could tell me what the plan is going to be over here, I'd be grateful. Because we're gonna have a slow move out with these Marines. Halfway, with Stim halfway done. Medivacs will start behind this. This is going to be one hell of a build order. If this Raven just gets used to throw down one auto turret on the other side of the map, I'm not saying that I'm disappointed. I'm just saying that I'll be, No, actually, I'll be kind of disappointed. I was hoping there was more to this. Like maybe a -2 armor push. Where you push with the Raven, you don't show it before, and boom, you throw down the anti-armor missile, and still a 2-on-1, technically. I actually think it's just going to be double auto turrets. One in the third base, and then trying to fly in towards the natural, and then it won't work. Beyond got spotted by an Overlord, decides, well, not head home. I thought it was going to head home, but just kind of moving back and forth. Moves his Raven back and forth. Tank on the way. New barracks as well here popping out, and these are definitely going to get taken out. No scans necessary, that is real nice. And the armor missile is now available. Okay, here comes the Raven. Anti-armor? No. One auto turret? That's it? Really? Also a big scan forward there. And loses the Raven pretty much for free. Well. If there was a little GIF in the dictionary next to the word disappointing, I think this this little interaction we just had from the Terran side is, you know, could be used there. Could definitely be used. Queen gets sniped though. This is much, much better here. Scarlett a little bit out of position. Loses a Queen 5 workers instantly. That's of course the real power of BN as well. It's just the speed at which he does things. New hatchery once again going up in towards the main base. The creep threat towards the bottom is looking mighty fine. The question here as well is going to be, can Scarlett manage to drone up? That was the main reason why last game looked so good. 82, 83 drones against a very low drone count or SCV count coming out of Beyond. Not sure if that's going to be possible here as well. This time around, it feels like it's real difficult to sneak in all those workers. We now get a round of 10 drones, but it's been so close for such a long time. 5 barracks are done already. Production's gonna start kicking off. I feel like if at any point Beyond decides to move across the map, especially if this creep continues disappearing again and again and again, I actually think that Scarlett's in a little bit of trouble here. This drop for now is just going to be a bit of a lightning rod. It's not really there to deal damage. It's more there to make sure that this push can, you know, move across the map and eventually perhaps try and take out a fort base. Far away scan. Big siege up as well. Look at this. Very big angle here being used. Combat shield not quite done, but is about to finish up. Second factory on the way. Do hope the armory is somewhere too. Comes a bit of an elevator on towards the high ground. I really feel like as of late, Terrans have gotten so much better at using positions on the map. Like just way more abusive than they've ever been before. Like people like Kier, Bian, Maru have really been abusing those types of positions so much. Same on a map like Dragonskill. This is not a good run by. There's plenty of units defense in defense. There's no extra upgrades on the way here for Scarlett, so this is going to be the hold. Might want to make a counterattack straight after. Needs to go before reinforcements arrive. Don't think that's quite going to be the case. Scarlett now decides to go in. Needs to split off towards the low ground as well as more Marines moving forward. Nice target fire. At least good tank fire. I'm not quite sure how targeted that was. Taking out a bunch of those Banes. Tank now trying to move towards the high ground. This position is crazy. What the heck is this? How have I never seen this utilized before? This is so sick. I guess usually there should be some type of creep, but that isn't quite the case here. Tanks will end up getting cleaned up, but more and more reinforcements are moving in right now, and this base ain't here no more. It's going to be rebuilt on the bottom side, but the question, of course, is can Scarlett hold for now? There's no banelings at all in this army, and pure Marine against Hydra Ling usually is a good thing for the Marines here. Lots of Marines do get taken out. Tank, as the backbone still remains for now, finally gets cleaned up. But GG gets called as Scarlett does not see a way forward in this game beyond. Ties up the series with an impressive Marine tank push. It's always kind of funny to me how quickly you get used to new things in a way, right? Like if you would have gone back in time, like let's say 7 months, and someone would have told you that we're gonna see a 2-Rex Reaper opener, I think everyone would have been really excited. Cool, 2-Rex Reaper, that's cool. Reapers are cool, you know, an interactive unit. But now that it's the standard, whenever you cast a Beyond game, it lost a lot of its, you know, the novelty factor is kind of gone there already, despite it being fairly recent to me. It's so funny how that works. Like something that you can be so excited for. I sometimes have the same with food. Like, I feel like in a way, when you were a kid, eating was much better because you couldn't just pick whatever you were going to eat. So you were much happier when you got a very good food that you liked, you know? Eating fries was freaking massive when you were young. But now I can pick to eat fries literally every single day. It doesn't feel quite as special anymore when I do end up eating it because it's a decision I made myself. I feel like in a way, maybe I should have like a roulette wheel or something to decide what I eat at night. And then, you know, you have big chances of like crappy food. Yeah, it's like broccoli and cauliflower, like things that no one really likes. Oh, another night of Brussels sprouts here for you, Kevin. That's great. And then when you get the fries, you know, you really... it's going to be big. freaking loved eating fries as a kid. Man, I really don't like them that much anymore. There was a period when I initially started living on, like, by myself. When I lived by myself, back in Rotterdam times, like 2018 or so, I would just eat fries so often. Like twice a week or so. To have this good fry place nearby where you could buy them pretty cheap. Big portions as well. Oh boy, they were delicious. Freaking love those things. But then after a while, because it became the standard, you know, I knew that Friday and, well, often also Wednesday ended up being like fry nights. It's not the same. It's not the same. All right, big baneling bust here kicking off. Is going to get scouted by Bian. And that means he should be capable of responding somewhat decent. What is this? Is it a... This is a proper wall. I thought you'd build that with an eBay, not a bunker, but... I mean... You do you, boo. You do you, Bian. Make of it what you want. It's going to be a 3-Rex as a follow-up, by the way. So there's going to be plenty of units. Different follow-up this time once more. Coming out of the Terran Mastermind. First depot is going to get taken out. No biggie. Second wall, though. It's looking solid. It's looking strong. GG gets called 4 minutes and 22 seconds in. And Beyond now on match point. Like I said, a lot of Zerg players have kind of tried different variations of all-inning with roaches, with lings, with ravagers, banelings. Literally, you name it, and Zergs have tried it to deal with Beyond. But Beyond's scouting, his responses just seem to be way too solid. He knows what needs to be done, to be quite honest. I also do believe that if you're gonna pick a map to do that particular build order on, it's probably bad to do it on Babylon, due to the fact that there's only a single depot in the wall. On this particular map, Beyond would need to create 2 extra backup walls, because there's, well, 2 depots over here, of course, so... Different situation. So we're now waiting for... see what Scarlett has planned for us. I'm actually kind of curious if once again there will be something special. It's just so crazy to me as well that when you think about it, like this Reaper build, like it's not like the Reaper has been like a recent invention, you know? Like Beyond was massing Reapers back in the day already. Like 2016, they got nerfed back then. The Reaper's been around for a long, long time, and just seeing them pop off with a build like this all of a sudden, it's kind of crazy to me. It's weird how the meta works like that. And someone just invents something new. It was always there. I always felt like such a loser for not having thought of the Glaive Adept build the way that Zest did it. Like, not exactly like that. I had something that was so similar, that exact same tournament in Katowice 2020. Like, it was so freaking close to what he was doing, but it was just lacking a little bit of timing. Actually crazy. And then he got to the semifinals. I got knocked out in the first round by Namchar. Has to be some type of difference, of course. Just feel like a clown, you know? You dedicate your life to this game. And you're freaking thinking of build orders and stuff all the time. For whatever reason, your brain just can't think that something might be good. It's very scary, though, to try new build orders out. Because it very often is just a massive waste of time. Like, the amount of times that I've invested a lot of time into a build order. You know, you're play testing it, and then within 3 games, Zergs just do something slightly different, and they hold it every single time consistently. You spend like freaking 7 hours perfecting the build order, then you spend like 10 hours, you know, just making sure that you're ready for all responses from Zerg. Then within like 3 minutes, they just completely destroy it. It's like, well, that sucked balls. There's very little build orders that actually have the ability to kind of, you know, change, especially the early game. That is... You always feel like that's pretty, you know, figured out already. You always feel like that's pretty figured out. Anyway, what do we have over here? We have a line 3rd base coming out of Scarlett, as the damage dealt by the Reaper so far has been... Let's call this medium damage, you know? Yeah, this is medium damage. 2 drones, 4 links. This is like the jalapeno. Yeah, most people could probably live with this. You know, if you're very sensitive to spicy, and, you know, 1 jalapeno might, you know, bite you in the bum pretty hard. If these Reapers get like 7 drone kills, that's like the Carolina Reaper. Like, no one is really okay with that. It's the same with like 6, 7 drone kills. But two drones, 2 links, like, it's okay. Once again, going to be this Raven build that we saw in game number 2, it was, on Ancient Cistern. Hopefully this time the Raven's going to be a little bit more successful. Scarlett throws down a Baneling Nest as well as a secondary extractor. And one wonders what's going to be done with that extractor. Well, most likely gas mining, but I mean, what will be done with the gas that will be gotten from the extractor? We don't have a forward base quite yet, as Crew Spread is steadily moving forward. Finally do see that hatchery going down. I think that Raven just got spotted by a Ling, by the way. That is extremely interesting. Random Ling, just figuring out what's kicking off. Overlord moving in position as well. Absolute baller. There you go, Overlord. Good job, buddy. Good job. This Raven now on the way to the main base is going to throw down a turret. No turret over here. This is a crazy move out. Is there a medevac yet? Okay, they're popping out right now. They're gonna be boosting across the map. Yep, there we go. Rapid sequence of medevac boosters. Where's that Raven? Wait, did it die? Oh, it's over here. It's quite a bit of energy, by the way. Choosing scans now aggressively. I freaking hate that when there's a Raven. I really do. Can't stress that enough. This push in comes fairly early. 2 queens going down already. Lots of Lings also going down. This Scarlett just not have anything left. Wait, is it over? Huh. Oh, that's lame. Well, GG, I guess. What a terrible series this was. This was from the, is it called the KSL Super Slam or something like that? It's a new tournament. So the guys that hosted the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League, Dave Testa and Chicken Man, have hosted a 4.5k USD tournament. And they've, as always, they've released all of those replays straight to the public. Absolutely no cost whatsoever, which is extremely high tier. They've been doing this for, I think, for more than half a year at this point, trying to support the Korean StarCraft scene. And now they've hosted this little tournament, played on the Korean server as well. And this was one of the games from the round of 12. So I think I'm just going to be casting actually all of those games in the next week or so. Just put them online in a nice sequence. I hope you all enjoyed this first series. And if you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see all of you next time for a new one. Thank you and bye-bye.